I pray to the divinity in you. You have already been informed that this is small Upanishads comprising of 12 verses comes from Atharvaveda. It's a very important Upanishad. And Mandukya Upanishad, another Upanishad says, if someone understands this Upanishad, means only 12 verses, he can attain enlightenment. It is so deep, profound, if someone actually understands this Upanishad. Starts with Hari Om. Hari is epithet. Om is the eternal sound. The entire universe is the syllable Om. In the Bible also it is said, in the beginning there was Word, and Word was God, and God was Word. And what was that word? That word was Om. Because there is only one sound that can be produced by opening the lips and by keeping them closed. With your lips closed, if you hum any sound of any language, it will come as Om. A from the throat, then like other words come out of our vocal cords. U rolls down and Yam comes when you seal your lips. Hum any sound of the world, any of any language, it will come as Om. The following is the exposition of Om. Everything in the past, present and future is verily Om. It shows how can you come out of the conditionings of your mind that's called past, present and future. It's difficult to comprehend. Something about present, we all know about the past. How your past thinking, actions and emotions make a space in the deep down of your consciousness, unconscious mind, where they live for a long time. They can live forever and ever unless you know how to deal with them. They live in that reservoir of merits and demerits. You have to know how to deal with them. You have to know how to approach your unconscious mind and understand that. You see? That which is beyond time, space and causation is also Om. It means there is fourth step, fourth state of mind, which is beyond these three states. That's called a matra. Soundless state of Om. It's simple to understand with this simile. You stand on the banks of the Ganges or any river, just to know the sound coming from the river. If you follow the flow of the river, you will never find how from where the sound has come, originated. You will have to follow the river upwards from where it has come down, where it originated. Finally, you will find a place where there is no sound at all. All the sound verily come from that where there is no sound, means silence. When you learn to put yourself in a situation by understanding how to sit, how to breathe, how to have coordinated mind, and how to go beyond, and then put yourself into absolute sound, absolute silence, you will never understand that. This inward process can be practiced by us, but we hardly make effort to do that. First of all, we are not trained to do that since our childhood. No one teaches us how to sit still, how to breathe in a serene way, how to be calm. So that culture, that tradition we have lost. We have only learned how to sharpen our intellect and then employ the senses, so that the intellect employs the senses and goes to the external world, gross world, the world of objects, and collect the data from the external world. That is all. We do not know anything beyond this. Physical sciences are trying to understand only external world. Physicists say, why do you want to know anything about dream? It's sleep. It's a simple thing. You don't think of anything. You are not aware of anything. So what do you want to know more than this? They say. They do not understand what sleep is. Actually, it's not the subject matter of physics. Psychologists are trying to understand about dreams, which is called tejas. So knowledge of the external world comes under the domain of something that is called Vaishwanara. About the sleep, prajna. Sleep can give great knowledge, provided you understand its nature well. You understand what it is. So we'll systematically explore all these three dimensions and then try to go or attain the fourth dimension called Turiya. As I told you, three aspects of whom are considered to be waking, dreaming and sleeping. But the Vedas explain all the four padas, 4 feet of the eternal in a different way also, in another way also. The Veda says, Padovasya Vishwani Bhutani Trivadasya Mritanduvi. entire universe comes in one pada, one aspect. It is only one aspect of the Brahman, of the absolute truth. What happened to Tripada? What happened to another three aspects? So there was a conference of sages and wise men, and nobody would explain that, because it is written, Tripadasya Mritanduvi. Three padas, three aspects are eternal. So one of the old sages got up and said, it's very simple to know. Sat, Chita and Ananda. These are three padas. Peace, happiness and bliss. These are three aspects of the absolute, and one aspect is called Maya's aspect, this whole universe. So to know those three aspects, another three aspects of the universe, you have to first understand the aspect of Maya. Shankaracharya explains it in a different way. Maya, he calls it anadi, most ancient. Ma means no, ya means that which does not exist in reality, but it exists in apparent reality. Apparently it exists, but actually it has no existence of its own. One of the aspects of Maya is called mirage. When you are driving a car, you find watery substance ahead. When you go there, you don't find anything there. Optic, you see, optic illusion is part of Maya. Mirage is a part of Maya. It does not exist, yet it apparently seems to exist. This whole universe actually does not exist. Now, let me argue about it. Yes. If we say that this tree does not exist, that is true. See, apparently exists, but it has no existence of its own, for its existence lies in the seed. This is a great controversy, how Karana comes out with Karya, how cause produces effect. Which came first, cause or the effect? Karana or Karya? They both lived together. Tree lived inside the seed, it came out because it was already there. This whole universe has come out from nothingness. It means it is nothing. How something can come out of nothing? How this sakara can come out of nirakara? It means this is also nirakara. Then why do we see the universe as it is? Because of our, you see, sense perception. We don't see this world as it is when we start dreaming. We don't see this reality, what you call apparent reality, as it is when we go to deep sleep. We will never see this reality, what you consider reality, when we attain the fourth step. Now, take off from the ground, from the airport, go to the height. From there you will not see things as they look here and now. It depends how you see things. You are not seeing things as they are. You are seeing things partially. So partial truth is not considered to be truth because it has nothing to do with the totality of your experience. The way you see the world is not like that. Because you see the world with little windows called your eyes, with little instruments used. When you close your eyes, all things vanish. It depends how you perceive things. The things are not the way they look because there is no total experience that we are applying. Let us go to another step, which is called dreaming step. Perhaps we will understand better by Swanara, this external world, by understanding dreaming state also, by understanding sleeping state also, and by knowing, understanding and attaining that summit which is called Turiya. With the help of Om, you can do this. Provided you know the method of using this Om, you understand the technique. When you can make your Jivatma, individual soul, as a bow, you can make this whole being, whole body as a bow, and your individual soul as arrow. And with all your might, you send that arrow to the target called Brahman, the absolute reality. Then you will know what the reality is. Somewhere in the Upanishad says, Pranava Setu. Om is also called Pranava. According to Patanjali, the codifier of yoga science, Patanjali says that if you learn to establish a bridge from this shore to the other shore with the help of Pranava, you have accomplished your task. It teaches you meditation without object. Why are you not improving? Why are you not deepening your meditation? Why your mind does not get concentrated and attain the next step, meditative step? Because your method is poor, shallow. Why do you get your frustration when you love someone? Because your method of loving, your love is poor. So the scripture says, when you learn to love, when you learn to attain, when you learn to have that final goal which is called Turiya, and learn to follow the path, tread the path of light and love without objects, finally you attain it. In this method, you don't find any object, any picture of a guru or deity or messenger, no object. Now, you will find that it becomes very difficult for you to concentrate your mind without some object. Mind always leans. Who taught you to lean on something all the time, on depending on something all the time? You talk of drug dependency, alcohol dependency, this dependency. No, no. These dependencies are nothing. You are suffering on account of a serious crisis. That crisis is a spiritual crisis. That dependency has been given to you by your mind. You will never find mind being independent all the time. Never, not for a second. It is always dependent on something. Watch your mind and see. Is there any moment when your mind is free from the object or from the image? No. We have to learn to make our mind independent first. Free from the imageries, free from the objects, free from imaginations. Then mind will be capable to fathom the deeper levels of our being, subtler levels of our being. The commentary on these 12 verses, the finest of all commentaries, books in Vedanta, is called Karika, written by great God Padacharya, Shankara's Guru's Guru. It is said that Narayana revealed that knowledge to the great Nara, God Padacharya, and that is why the commentary Karika was received by him. The terse, most terse, abstruse and difficult scripture in the library of man, Vedantic literature, is Karika. Karika means commentary on these 12 verses. And Shankaracharya again made a tika, another commentary on Gaudapadacharya's commentary. These 12 verses were expanded, it becomes a big volume. And in the monastic order, if someone is not taught this scripture, he doesn't know anything. He is not considered to be intelligent. He is not considered to be a teacher. He is not considered to be a brilliant person. One has to learn this scripture. This scripture is accepted by both Hindus and Buddhists. Nowhere this scripture talks about God, any deity. It talks about 3 states and leads you to attain the 4th stage, 4th step. By analyzing first the external world, that is called Vaiswanara. What is the nature of the external world? When the consciousness rolls down, it does not come down bit by bit. It flows. When it has come out to the external world, how does it look like? If there is no consciousness, how will we know? We know and know that we know because of the consciousness within us. External lights, external help, it's just a support. Actually, we know because the knowledge that lies within us, that helps us to realize ourselves is already within us. But what to do? Our traditions are shallow. It has nothing to do with the truth. Our cultures are sensual, and we do not understand this. Look, ye human being, you have not known yourself and you are trying to know others. How it is possible? The prime duty of a human being is to know himself, and then self of all. The same self that dwells within you dwells in others. You have to know that self, and that is called center of consciousness. You think that you are able to see through your eyes? That's true. The eyes do not see, you see. They are only gates. The light is within you. The senses function because there is a power within you. The moment you come to know that power and then understand the same power is universal power, the same power is called Vaiswanara. If it is examined in the external world, same power is called Tejasa, the same power is called Prajna, and the same power is called Turiya. But then, the space that is within the glass is not horizon. When we break the glass, it becomes that. So the great teachers say, O human being, examine all these states systematically. What is Tejasa? You think your dreaming state has nothing to do with your life? That's not true. You see. How will you know about your dreaming state and what is dreaming state? Second mantra says, all this, whatsoever is seen here, there and everywhere is Brahman. Tell me, is there any space? Tell me, is there any place where there is no Brahman, where there is no ultimate reality? This Atman verily is Brahman, and this Atman has 4 aspects. What are the 4 aspects? Consciousness. The first aspect is the waking state. They are not the states of mind. They are not creations of the mind. They are not projection of the mind. Mind has very little to do with your dreaming state or waking state. They are the states of consciousness. In this state, consciousness is turned to the external. When consciousness is turned to the external world, then that is called Vaiswanara, and that is called waking state. Now see, we human beings have not yet understood even right utilization of that state of mind which is called waking state. Is there any university which teaches you how to dream? You don't join such a university which is called Dream University. So you are learning that your intelligence is limited to only one aspect of the totality of the learning process. How little do we feel when we know that we only understand something, very little, something about the waking state. We do not know much about dreaming state, sleeping state and turiya. How much do we know about ourselves? look at this poverty. We know very little about ourselves. You see. In this state, consciousness is turned to the external with its 7 instruments and 19 channels. What are those 7 instruments? 5 elements. Earth, water, fire, air, space, breath and ego. They are 7. Then what are the 19 channels? 19 channels are 5 cognitive senses, 5 gross senses, mouth, hands, feet, and front and rear gate, these 10. 5 pranas, prana, dhyana, udana, and samana. And 4 antakarana, different aspects of antakarana, mana, manas, chitta, buddhi, and ahankara. These are 19 channels. When we understand their functions well, we know how the consciousness came to the external world and what are the limitations of human beings when he sees, when he knows consciousness only in one aspect, that is called external world. Now, the 4th mantra says, the second aspect is the dreaming state, tejasa. In this state, consciousness is turned inward. If you know the method of turning your consciousness inward, you can dream during waking state, and that is called daydream. You must have seen many people come in touch with all these natural potentials of human being accidentally. Paul, who was called Saul, on the way to Damascus, came in touch with that higher potential within himself and became St. Paul. Sometimes you come in touch with that potential that completely changes, transforms your whole personality. And it happens when you are on the path. Why Paul started going towards Damascus? Why not towards the hill? He could not find satisfaction in what he was doing. So when he searched everywhere, finally he went to the path to Damascus. And on the way, self-realization dawned. Self-realization dawns when you are fully prepared. Preparation seems to be very important in life. If you are not prepared, self-realization will not dawn. You have to prepare yourself. Human being needs to prepare by understanding the instrumentation he has, the channels of energy he has, the equipment he has. In previous verse it is said, 7 and 19. You see. If you learn to understand how these 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air and space, had made this jar which is called body. And then in this jar, in this body, there is a flow called breath, life breath. And there is something inside that is called ego, who has created a barrier between us and the reality. Then you will come to know that human being has all the potentials, but there is something that separates him. What is that which separated human being from the absolute truth? This Upanishad says it has never. It's only superimposition. Once when I was in the mountain, I always used to teach the scriptures. You see, my favorite scripture was Panchadashi. It's one of the books of Vedanta. I used to teach about Maya all the time, but I never understood it. So I felt very sad. One day I told my master, I said, give me practical example. Theoretically I know what Maya is, but I don't understand what it is. You see. He smiled and he said, tomorrow morning I will tell you what Maya is. So I was so excited to know. I said, if I know Maya, I will be free from the clutches of Maya, and there I will meet the Absolute. On the way, while returning after bath in the Ganges, he rubbed himself tightly with the trunk of the tree. And I said, what is this you are doing funny thing today? He said, I am not doing anything. This is Maya that has done to me. Will you please help? I was really young and strong. I tried my best to pull his leg, to try to release his hands, arms, but I was not successful. But I said, what is this? Please release your hands. He said, I cannot, because this is Maya. Now, Maya also has limbs. What do you mean by Maya? When I started perspiring, he said, are you tired in releasing me from the bondage of Maya? I said, yes. He said, now I have decided to release myself from the bondage of Maya, and here I am free. It is your decision to be in the bondage of avidya, ignorance, or to get released. This is no one's decision. You are the way you are because you wanted to be that way, that's why you are this way. Nobody plans for you. This is your own planning. And this goes on till eternity if you do not have the aim in front of yourself and direct all your energies to understand. So when you know that all the things in the world have some name and have some form, is there anything that has no form? Is there any form that does not go to change, death and decay? So that name and form is temporary aspect of that something. You see. That goes on changing. There is one word in Sanskrit for this world that is called samsara, that continues. That goes on like this. It's like a river that goes on flowing. Mass of water passes, yet another mass comes, fulfills that gap, and there is no gap at all. There is a continuity. we all will go away, another will come. There will be continuity. This world always remained crowded, overcrowded. So, this is the world, samsara. Now we see the external aspect of this samsara, this universe, and that external aspect is called Vaishwanara. When same consciousness is turned within, here lies the secret for the sadhaka. You will have to use a method of withdrawing the senses from the external world. That is called sparsha yoga, yoga of touch. If you analyze two things in your life, one is called pain and another is called pleasure, you will come to know pain and pleasure, these two stimulations you receive when your senses contact the matter. Gita explains it this way: Matra sparsastu kaunte sukh dukh. Matra sparsastu kaunte shitosna sukh dukkhada. You feel pain and pleasure, heat and cold, because your senses contact the objects in the external world. If you can stop doing this, you will not feel pain and pleasure. You will not feel heat and cold. So all the time you practice to contact the external world, the objects of the world, with the help of your senses. You do not know how to withdraw your senses, sense perception. That is why in yoga ladder, Ashtanga yoga, in 8 ladders, 8 rungs of yoga, Pratyahara seems to be very important. There are no books on the subject Pratyahara. There are books on the concentration, there are books on, you see, meditation, there are books on samadhi, but there are no books on Pratyahara, because it's a practical technique that you should learn to withdraw your senses, to turn inward. Because these senses are helping you contacting the external world. And that's why you feel pain and pleasure. You have to be free from pain and pleasure. At least you can be free. I have noticed there was a Swami who fell down from the mountains. These are not stories, something real I tell you. See, his 3 bones were broken. I took him to the doctor, and doctor said, I want to give you anesthesia. He said, what is that? He did not know what it was. He said, it's that gas-like something which will lead you to a state where there will be no pain. He said, it's easy for me. How long will it take for you to do the operation? To perform the operation? He said, half an hour. He said, sure, within half an hour's time you can do your job. If you need more time, let me know now. He said, okay, 40 minutes. He said, I give you 50 minutes. And for a second, he composed himself. He withdrew his consciousness from that limb, and he started doing the medicine. operation. Because I took him to the doctor, Dr. Mukherjee, who was surgeon, who is still alive, lives in Varanasi. So it took him exactly 50 minutes. After 50 minutes, suddenly he smiled when the operation was done. Because he practiced. How? Not to allow his mind to use the channels which distract and dissipate the power of mind and lead the mind to the external world. These are agents that mind employs to contact the external world. But whose power is that? Is it power of the mind? Is it power of the senses? No. It's power of the consciousness. They all are using the power of consciousness. When you learn to train your mind through which this power flows to the external world, by separating itself from the senses, by not employing the senses, then that state is called a state of conscious withdrawal, which is very important for the meditation. Why are you not successful in meditation? You do technical things. You sit down, you have attained stillness. You have attained head, neck and trunk in a straight line. Then you attain breath. After that, you do not know, because something more subtle comes. You do not know how to withdraw your mind, because you are in habit of employing the senses. How not to employ the senses during that time, so that your mind, instead of flowing to the external world, starts turning within. So what you actually need, you need to make your mind inward. You need to make your mind one-pointed, both. Inwardness and one-pointedness. If you make mind one-pointed, it means we are using some sense, and with the help of, through that sense, we are making mind external and one-pointed. No. For meditation, you need to make mind one-pointed, of course, but at the same time inward. That's what this mantra says. Now, nature makes it inward, and that's called dream. See? Natural power in you, there is some power in you that makes your mind, that turns your mind inward, and then you start dreaming. During that time, your mind you are not in touch with the external reality. You go to different state of reality, and that is called dreaming reality. That you can do consciously, by not allowing your mind, through which that consciousness flows, by not allowing your mind to employ the senses, and there you will start dreaming. That which you call dream can also be done consciously. That's why the yogis do not dream. As you householders say, sweet dream. You see, if you tell a yogi sweet dream, he will definitely kick you. He said, what do you mean by sweet dream? I am practicing a state of dreamless, deep sleep, sleepless sleep, and here you say sweet dream? That if you learn that Sparsha Yoga, by knowing the technique of withdrawing yourself voluntarily, not allowing your mind to flow with the senses and making it inward, which is called Sparsha Yoga, then you get to a state of dreamland. Now there are varieties of dreams. Don't think that if you have learned to make your mind inward, you have controlled entire dream world. There are varieties of dreams. One day you overeat and have some, because you have overeaten, you have some gastric problem. That day you will dream. That is not called dream. That is called nightmare. Because your mind, your jiva that is experiencing dream is influenced by the external problems. What do you call nightmare? Nightmare is a part of dream that comes from dreamland, but it is not actual dream. It is artificial dream. When somebody is under the influence of anesthesia, and when he comes out of that anesthesia influence, you see, that state is also like dream-like state. During that time, I have seen police people interrogating the patients. A husband always pretended that he never goes out with other women. And his wife thought that her husband was like angel. But suddenly something happened. He was taken to the hospital. And the nurse, she became friendly with the nurse. This is a true story. Yes. So nurse said, do you want to know a real character of your husband? She says, what do you mean? My husband is very honest to me. He says, all husbands are honest. But what to do with their nature? By nature, they are polygamists. He said, but my husband is not like that. He said, I don't believe that. All men are like that. You see, I don't trust them. Because they are meant that way. And they started arguing. You see. He said, if they don't go outside with other women, at least they think. They brood. They remain in their dream. Okay. So your husband is under the influence of anesthesia. When I will tell you at such and such time he will start coming out, start putting questions. Did you have any girlfriend? He said, yes. What was the name of your girlfriend? He said, Leela. Because that case came to me later on. And that girl was under fits. She said, I thought my husband was angel, but my husband had a girlfriend before he married me, and her name was Leela, and he never told me this. I tried my best to pacify her. I could not. You know. Still today she is prejudiced. She does all the things for him. She looks after him, adores him, but she has in her mind, oh, these men are like that. Truth comes out during dreaming state. So don't think that dreaming state is not important state. You can never hide yourself, any of your feelings during dreaming state, no matter how great you are. There is no such control on you. There is no way unless you are perfect yogi. Then you will not dream. Why yogi cannot dream or doesn't dream, and why ordinary people dream? This is the point. When the consciousness turns from the external world inwards, that is, then it comes, you start getting into the dreaming land of dream. There is actually nothing inside. Yet you create during dreaming state. What do you create? That which you cannot create in the external world. In the world of objects, the same thing your mind creates without objects. There will be no bricks, yet your mind can create a home, house. Now, I'll tell you varieties of dreams. Many of you have gone through this because I also went through this. I was rushing towards examination hall and getting late. And I was very sad that the examination hall was far away and yet I had to go. Most of you will have the same dream because our problem is the same, was the same. There is similarity in dreaming too. If we all have a problem of building a house, what type of dream we will see? That we are building a home in our dream, because we all have problems. Any desire that is not fulfilled in the external world, that creates a heavy burden in human mind, and dream is let out of that state. So therefore, dream is therapeutic. Nature has created a therapy, and that is called dream. It's a great therapy. But who needs therapy? Those who are sick. Yogi do not need therapy. You see. It's therapeutic all right, but if you have consciously controlled that aspects of yours which make you sick, you do not need that therapy. So there is a way of going through dreaming state without any exhaustion. In dream, you do things which you cannot do in the external world. That's why you have dream. Dream is great pacifier. Dream is great remedy. Dream is great therapy. Dream is great solace. But the moment you decide that you want to dream this way, you will never dream that way. If you remember someone constantly, you will never dream of him. The moment you forget, you will start dreaming. It means there is some relationship with the dream, with conscious and unconscious mind. I want to explain to you. Are you with me, or simply am I a fool talking to you? Tell me. Okay. Waking state. All the consciousness that we have in the waking state, is it under our conscious control? All the power that we have at our disposal during waking state, is it under our control? No. Our entire universe uses adjectives like good and bad because of only one step, that is called waking. During waking state of mind, you get yourself cultured. That's a small part of the totality of yourself. A small part of the totality. Christ knew the technique, and his guru, John the Baptist, did not know. It's not necessary that your guru knows and you do not know. You can know something which your guru does not know. How Christ came in touch with that power, where he knew more about his mind and potentials. That's why he could change water into wine. All these so-called miracles are miracles as long as you do not know them. The moment you know them, they are no more miracles. The more you dive deep into the ocean within, the more you come out with the pearls already lying at the bottom of the ocean there. First point is, what we call waking state. You see. During waking state, our mind and senses, are they under our control? No. And during dreaming, they are definitely not. But during sleeping, the Lord of life sees that you learn how to have control over them. That which you cannot do during waking state, sleep does it. You cannot forget that you exist. You cannot forget that you are son of such and such, you are doctor, you are psychologist, you are good, you are bad. You are the owner of this property, you are the owner of that property, you cannot forget it. But during sleep, you completely forget it. Because this is a superimposition. Had it been reality, how could you forget? Whatever you think about yourself, if it had it been truth, you wouldn't have forgotten. You wouldn't have forgotten. Why do you forget it? Because this is not truth. This is not a part of absolute reality. Dream tells you this is not true, that you are a great scholar. In dream, sometimes you dream that you are stupid, you are a fool, you do not know anything. And you feel bad and you cry, and you feel pity on yourself. But suddenly your wife comes, so you compose yourself, you don't cry. And this is all dream going on. You see. As there is waking reality, there is dreaming reality. Let us first find out how your consciousness or conscious mind is trained. A small part of the totality of mind is being trained by our educational system since ages, and nothing is happening to human being. That's why we are crude. That's why we are primitive. That's why we are animal. Human being is called walking animal, talking animal. Because we do not know how to use the potentials that we have. A small part of mind, and then we get many, many designations. Even waking, this small part of mind, waking state, when the senses touch the external world with the help of mind, and mind with the help of the, you see, energy that flows from center of consciousness, this is not under our control. How many colleges, universities and methods from, you see, childhood we learn? Mother says, be good, be nice, be kind, be gentle. Come out in the church, priest says, be this, be this, be this, be this. In the school, teacher says, be this, be this. All the methods are imposed on us, yet we do not know how to utilize that small part of mind, a small part of power, consciousness and energy that is at our disposal. How about the dreaming state? And how about the sleeping state? And how about Turiya? How far are you from your goal? You see. You see. As the physicists and scientists, physical scientists say, you do not need to understand anything about sleep. You see. I think if we do not know anything about sleep, and if you don't try to know anything about sleep, how will you go to the fourth state, Turiya? Sleep, the state of sleep is called pragya, blissful state. In deep sleep, you are in blissful state. So much pain you are going through, it's higher than anesthesia. Now you come. Where you are under the influence of anesthesia, body is not rested. But if you are in deep sleep, the body is rested, the breath is rested, both systems, everything is rested. Because there is no content in the mind. So, both set of muscles, autonomic nervous system, you see, everything is rested. Therefore, sleep, that which can be bestowed by sleep cannot be bestowed by any other way. There is a very close relationship between sleep and dream. You cannot go to bed without dreaming. How can you observe this? One day you should decide that let me see what happens when I go to sleep. I did it. And I could not sleep for many days. I thought, let me see what happens. Where is that moment when one goes to sleep? I want to watch that moment, what happens to me. After 18 days, something clicked here, and then I did not know what happened. I was in deep sleep. For 18 days I did not sleep. My eyes were swollen. My body became very heavy. I could not walk. I could not attend anything because I wanted to watch the sleep. While sleep watches my actions, activities. You see. Then my master said, no. You are watching something and you are not fully prepared and you are not equipped for that. There is a way of doing it. And that way is called Yoga Nidra. How to sleep consciously. You people sleep because it's 10 o'clock, it's 11 o'clock, it's 12 o'clock. You have to go in the morning, you have to go to your office, so you need a sleep. What is this? This preconceived idea. This is called hypnotic sleep. Your sleep is not natural. Your sleep is hypnotic sleep. That's not very good. You will see Freud, Adler, James, who used the way of hypnosis. They used because they understood something about sleep. Why did they stop that sort of therapy? Why it is not so popular, hypnosis? Because they found out, James and Adler found out that they came in touch with something with the patient, they created serious problems. Some of them died also during that therapy. They hypnotized and they told patient, and patient explained everything, and they told patient to come back. Patient said, no, I don't want to. Because patient became out of control. And hypnosis means as long as you control someone, hypnosis will work. So she said, come back. He said, no, I'm happy here. So there are many steps. Actually, when we say waking, dreaming, sleeping, and turiya, there are sub-states also. There are various steps in dream. There are dreams which are very pleasant. There are dreams which are very treacherous. There are dreams, they are called prophetic dreams. Such dreams have time also. So dreaming state is when consciousness turns inward, then the dreaming state comes. But for a yogi, that comes voluntarily, and it's called pratyahara, how to withdraw your senses from the external world. You can attain that dream. You can consciously go through this, sleep, and then attain this. You don't have to be unconscious to attain turiya. Whenever you are unconscious, think that you are touching the sleep. You are in sleep state. A yogi has not to sleep for attaining Turiya. Yogi has to control sleep for attaining this. Control sleep means to sleep, yet understand sleepless sleep. That's the point. From tomorrow, we have practical lessons. How to sleep, even how can you dream, and how to go beyond this. So 1 hour I will speak, and rest of the time I will give you some methods to practice. Do you have questions? I will give you some time for questions. Yes.
When you talk about causality, are you referring to the utterment connection between events?
I am talking about the seed. I am talking about the karan, cause. I am talking about the father who is a son. Father can produce a son. Son has never produced the father. The karya is on the karan, you see. The effect is because of the cause. Cause is not because of the effect. We are talking about that causality. Yes.
I'm confused by a contradiction. On the one hand, you say that we have to decide to get out of the clutches of Maya. But it's also said that the Atman reveals to him whom the Atman chooses.
Yes.
So, on the one hand, you're saying it's our responsibility to get out of the clutches. On the other, Atman chooses who?
Atman chooses only that one who is prepared, because Atman is not a fool. So why father chooses to pick up the child? You see, one child of yours is 21, another is 18, another is 7, the fourth one is 1.5 years. Which one do you choose to pick up and hold in your bosom and kiss and hug? One who is pure and simple. Yes. It has nothing to do with intelligence and all that. Atman chooses the purest, and if you are purest, Atman chooses you. That's the point. Prepare yourself to be pure so that Atman chooses you. I met a Swami. We used to talk about Brahman, so somebody went over there. He was a student of logic. He said, for you, Swami, everything is Brahman? He said, yes. He said, if I hit you, what will happen? He said, I will hit you twice. He said, why? He said, you think you are Brahman, you can hit me? You're Brahman, nothing will happen? He said, I am also Brahman, I can hit you twice. So think better. Yes.
With withdrawn senses and pratyahara, where do you focus your awareness or concentration so that you don't get led back out to the five senses?
You have first learned not to go back to the external world. So you should have some subtle objects to concentrate upon. No. There is something between you and mantra.
For example?
This is your physical body. This is your pranic sheath. What comes after that? This is your mental sheath. What is between mind and prana? What lies here? Where two meet, what lies here? When you people talk about chakras, you never put a question to me. What lies between two chakras?
What does lie between two chakras?
You think tonight, tomorrow I'll explain to you. Oh, that's why I tell students, you don't meditate because you never tell me the practical difficulty. Your difficulties you explain because you have heard from somewhere. You have read somewhere. You see, if you are a meditator, you have a practical difficulty and you will always put your practical. And anybody who puts that, I adore that student, I bow in front of him. So we'll discuss more. Yes?
Yeah, I have a question about meditation, but I sure have some about dreaming. You mentioned there were prophetic dreams and dreams that come from desires. Are there other types of dreams, and if so, how many?
Yes. No, there is another dream, and that is all, it's like hunch. That's not a prophetic dream, but it's like hunch. Then there is a dream that you dream, yet you forget in the morning. There is a dream in which you find vision, because consciousness is there. You see. If you know how to utilize that state, you can do wonders in dream. You can send messages from one place to another during dreaming state. You see. We'll discuss more about it tomorrow. Huh? Take care. Subject matter is being built. I want you to be prepared for the deeper state. What sleep is. I want you to learn how to handle your dreaming and sleeping state. You see, then it will become easy for you to handle your external state of mind.